Hello, this is Olivier. In this video, I will talk to you about permission roles and how you can grant this role to a group of users. Permissions are always very important for customers because this is probably the most sensitive topic in the system. So in this video, before making any changes to the permissions, we will first look at the profile and see what we can currently do. I will navigate to manage permission roles and create a new role. We will grant this new role to a group and define the target population. We will then go back to the profile and see what changed. Finally, I will share with you some best practices for role-based permissions. I am now in the application and I will go to the profile from the main menu by selecting My Employee file. Let's have a look at the talent profile in particular. And let's try to edit this first block, employee information. I can see that there are different fields. Maybe I can modify the first name, I can modify the last name, but I cannot modify the title or the job code. I can see these fields, but I cannot edit them. So in this demo, maybe I'm going to try to make the job code editable. I'm going to click Cancel, and I will navigate to Manage Permission Roles. I can see the existing roles that I have, and I have 4 pages of roles. I can easily navigate from page to page, or also increase the number of items per page. I can take action to edit the role, or I can also click on the role name. I can copy the role to create a new one and make minor changes. I can view the summary, the change history, or I can delete the role. In order to create a new one, I'm going to select this particular button at the top on the left-hand side. I'm going to give this role a name, and this is a role for administrator because my user is an administrator in this instance. And I'm going to give a description, ability to edit the job code in the profile. I'm going to click this button called Permission, and there are different categories. We have the user permissions at the top, and if I fold that category, I have the administrator permissions. So in my case, I'm going to focus on the user permissions. If I scroll down a little bit, I will see the general user permission. In here, I have the ability to log into the system, to see the live profile, for example, and click Done. This is how you can select the permissions that you need. In order to grant this role to a group of users, you need to focus on the point number 3. When I click on Add, notice that you can select a permission group. So maybe I want to give this role to administrators. So this is a permission group. I don't want to use a standard role that exists in the application. I really want a group that I created previously. So permission group is the good option to select. And I'm going to click Select from here. And then I'm going to select my group for administrators. I could select multiple groups if I need it. And this will be part of the selected items. I'm going to click Done and Done. So what happens now if I select other permissions that are associated with a T? The letter T here stands for target needs to be defined. So for example, I'm going to select goal management access, click Done, and see the granting. Notice that now there is a step number 2 that I didn't see before to define the target population, because I selected one permission that was associated with this T. So it could either be for everyone or maybe for a group. I can click select and notice that groups created from RBP would also be available from there. So in my case, I'm going to say that my administrators have the permissions for everyone in the organization. So I'm going to click done. If I scroll up a little bit, maybe for my example, I wanted to give the administrator the permission to edit the job code. So that field will be available under the user permission in a category called employee data. So from here, I can simply do a Control F if I want to go a little bit faster. And I'm going to select the first checkbox to view. And if I scroll to the right, I can select a second checkbox to give the permission to edit. The permission to edit assumes that you also have the permission to view. So this is why this checkbox is grayed out. So I'm going to click on Done, and I'm going to click on Save Changes. My group is now created. I can see it from here, and I can also see the description that I added when I created it. Before I can test my changes, I need to log out and log back into the system to make sure that the new permissions will be reflected. Now we are back into the system. From the main navigation menu, I'm going to go back to the employee files and back to the talent profile. If I click on Edit, notice that the job code is now editable. I'm going to type IC for individual contributor and click Save. To conclude this video, I would like to share with you some best practices on RBP. You should limit the number of groups and roles. This will facilitate the maintenance. You should also avoid overlap between roles. We recommend to put in place a naming convention for the group names, role names, and role descriptions. Customers should also define a governance on RBP. Finally, always keep in mind that you need to log out and log back into the system in order to test the updated permissions. I hope that this video was useful for you. Thank you for watching it.